Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Noza with another video. Today is going to be a little bit more of a rant style video where I'm just going to go with it, put some gameplay on the screen, and then we'll talk about why I stopped listening to FGC Twitter. Because, man, FGC Twitter be bugging. FGC Twitter is a not real place where bots, I swear they are bots, say things that either A, don't really make much sense, or B, they just say things to say things. Like, for instance, you'll find that people will take the time to talk about new games and their accessibility and how terrible that is, right? And how, back in the old days, back in the old days, we didn't have to interact with each other, and everything was nice, cozy, and in roses. But then, when you watch the old gameplay, you see people just like, oh, ha ha ha, he's stuck, he can't move, he got checkmated. Like you see people with like 40%, 50%, and then just checkmated into a situation where they can't interact. It's like, oh, if he try to mash, he dies, haha. And if he blocks the 50-50 incorrectly, he dies, haha. Like, you know, it's just a very ridiculous situation to be in. And then I see other games where they give characters abilities that are so ridiculously broken that I couldn't believe that they put it in the game in the first place. You know, like, okay, for instance, let's talk like Izanami, the rib cage, bro. I seen that joint. I was like, bro, you guys paid this competitively, and there was less guap and less people. Come on, bro. Come on. I'm just saying, they just be gassing up the weirdest things. But obviously, you know, I've been into Guilty Gear Hot Body, right? And with Guilty Gear, you got all the heads coming out saying, oh, this isn't real Guilty Gear. You know, the last Guilty Gear was FF2, right? They like saying that type of stuff, real pushing that method onto you. And then they're like, oh, what's GG? And it's like, oh, you know, the ability to move, the air movement, and you do things. Well, I guess in this game, true, the damage is high. True, there's not as much movement as the old games. Oh, they're trying to make everything Street Fighter 5. No, this doesn't have to always be that conclusion. Maybe ground-based fighters just do a little bit better than the other end of things. So as a result, they tried a different thing. They can try different things to market to different people. It's like, oh, automatically you were trying to scale things for the community of newcomers. Meanwhile, all the old comers, all the old guard ain't got nothing left for themselves. I'm like, but you still have your tech. You still can be a better player than your opponent, even if they're new. And there is this weird lack of distinction between a new player and a person who is new to the series. Now, a new player is someone who's completely new to fighting games, and a player who is new to the series is someone who has been playing fighting games but is new to Guilty Gear as a whole. Now, someone who is new to Guilty Gear can still drop you, but for some reason we miss that distinction because we automatically assume that the new to fighting game player is the exact same place as someone who is new to the series. But for some reason it doesn't make sense to do that, because obviously the person who is new to the series still has the fighting game fundamentals that were developed in the games that he's played previously. So the question now becomes, why are they placed in the same box? The answer is, it's Twitter. Doesn't make sense. Won't make sense. You just kind of have to accept it, go with it, whatever, boom, bam. All right. But reason why I made this topic as a point to make a YouTube video is because a lot of us find ourselves on this Twitter. Obviously, Twitter is addicting, whatever. That is a separate video on its own. But when you really stop and think about it, who on there is really giving valid takes? There are a select few, but for the most part, it's a lot of people just saying things to say things, or saying things to push a narrative, and these narratives that you find on FGC Twitter, they permeate throughout the entire community, and as a result, it becomes an echo chamber, and you hear these more and more often, where you hear characters are so bad you can't even play them. So then even the mid-level players or the higher level players, I'm making the distinction of higher, not high level players, because high refers to the highest level of play. Those players are like, I can't play this. Or online players feel like they can't play certain characters because they feel as though they will lose games where there's not even really a game to win, because you're only playing online, right? So people will strategically choose certain characters in order to play online where there's no stakes and there's no monetary value being gained from anything, which makes it very weird to interact with, right? You'll find a lot of these Twitter spaces, we're getting comments like, this character is horrible now. Even in my most recent short, where I'm talking about how Soul is such a terrible character, right? Soul is mid, blah, blah, blah. And then yet in the Arc Reef of Finals, we have 2 Souls, right? So the way people view things in the Twitter space is not even real. Or the fact that, this is reactable. You'll find people saying things like, this is reactable. And then when you go offline and people can't react to it, you're just like, well, I guess this person was wrong, or they don't know their facts. Which obviously that's the case, because most people on Twitter spend more time on Twitter than actually labbing the matchup. People would much rather type Nago is busted than to go ahead and lab Nago matchup strats, right? Anyways, this is just food for thought for you. I'm not trying to pick apart your opinion, and if you're a person on Twitter that actually goes ahead and does this type of speech, more power to you. Do your thing, but just know I stopped doing it. I would suggest you stop doing it. It's not bad to look at it, but don't let it affect your judgment. Don't let it affect who you play and what you do. Alright, cool. I'm out. Take it easy. Peace.